Well, the ripple effect of the coronavirus is starting to impact even more people, especially if you have to work at home.
Of course, and as we've reported, the president is set to hold a news conference at noon where he may declare a national emergency. That's what we're hearing. But having the kids at home for those of us who work, well, that can be another kind of emergency, that's for sure. So we do want to bring in Rosalind Prather. She is a co-founder of a company called Trusting Connections Nanny Agency. And what type of services do you provide? Thank you for being here, by the way. Good morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Aside from the obvious and helping families find full-time nannies or acting as a sitter service for parents that just need a part-time or occasional babysitter, we do provide sit care too. So it's an interesting time for us. We contract with companies that use our service to be able to offer this as an employee benefit so that if their kids are sick or if their school closes, they're using our service so they can still get to work. So
I think the question is if all of a sudden your work says you need to work from home for a while, how do you do that with kids running around and still get things done?
Absolutely. Well, luckily, I have personal and professional experience with this. I ran my business with all the way from a newborn and toddler, and now my girls are 7 and 5. So I've been there. You know, and I think I have a few tips. I think one of the most important one is to create a daily schedule or routine to establish some kind of predictability to your day. And this is something that should be written out, put it on the fridge. And this is not just a schedule for the kids, but for mom and dad too. So that as you're home every day, you kind of know what to expect. And it's similar to a school environment for kids because they're used to that. So, you know, and being strategic in terms of how you build out your schedule. So, you know, nap times are a great time to do the conference calls or the things that you don't, you know, the things that you wouldn't want the interruptions. Whereas emails or other mindless tasks can be done while you're sitting alongside the kids in the dining room. So you just want to make sure you have that consistency and predictability. Also, prioritizing what can be done during business hours versus what wait to be done in the night or the early morning hours is a big one. Setting up a space where you work, making it very clear that this is your workspace, having everything where you need it at your fingertips. And so kids know this is mom and dad's office and this is not a place where you should be. Kids, you know, it's hard for them because you're home and they expect that because you're there, you can play. And so you really just need to sit down with kids and help them understand what the plan is for the day and give them something that they can count on. It's really important to stop working throughout the day, in bedtime during the day, to sit down with the kids, get on the floor with them, play with them for 15 minutes of maybe special time, right? So you're really filling their love tanks, which will make them much more likely to be cooperative as the day goes on.
How do you handle those curveballs? Let's be honest, you got kids in there, and so, you know, an emergency happens, something happens. How are you able to get back to, you know, the focus of work or get the kids back to the focus of school?
Well, the good news is we're all in this together. So colleagues and they're going to be understanding, and we need to all be in a time of grace and forgiveness with each other. And so, you know, if you are having a meltdown in the middle of the conference call, have that mute button on standby. But also just, you know, and you know, the other big thing too is I want parents to know that there are services, that if you're stuck working from home with kids, schedule a nanny to be there at the most difficult times when the kids are the least likely to be cooperative, grumpy around nap time, whatever. You know, there are services like ours, and we can send a nanny or sitter to help you tag team and make your work from home successful.
All right. Rosalind, thank you. And you guys have all day help?
24/7, 365.
Okay, just asking for a friend. Thank you so much. It's very good information. And they said,
thank you all.
You're very welcome. April, they said we can rely on our colleagues too. So I'll bring Sly and Eva in next week if they're not going.